Hey guys, so I just wanted to show you a couple other things in Adobe Spark before you get going with your poster project. So we've already talked about making a new project, but one thing that you're going to want to do for your poster project is make sure that you have the right size so that it will translate well if we end up printing yours. So we would be printing to 18 by 24, so we're going to customize our size here. So if you go to resize, and scroll to the top, you should have a customize option, and Spark's not going to let us make it quite that big. So what we're going to do is instead of 18 by 24, we're going to do 12 by 18. But you can decide if you want yours to be landscape or if you want yours to be portrait. If yours is landscape, your width is a larger number, and if yours is portrait, then your height is the bigger number. So I'm going to go portrait. So I'm going to do 12 by 18, and that'll set up my flyer for me. So one of the main tools you're going to be using here is your text tool. You're definitely also going to maybe want to put in a photo or a background. With your photos, they have some really fabulous free photos for you guys to use. I'm just going to type in watercolor. So they have some really nice high quality photos. Part of the reason why I like using their photos is because I know there's no copyright issues. And also if I blow them up big, like for a poster, they're not going to get pixelated. So I highly recommend that. And I also recommend thinking about, the words you use to search. Sometimes just flipping around the words a little bit can get you some new images. The other option that you have is you could use background images. So there's all types of different backgrounds, and you can even enter your own search for that as well. So they have some suggestions, but you could also, type in your own search. So those are some things to think about. But one of the main things that you guys are going to be using is your text and your type. So, we talked a lot about different types of fonts and emphasizing, important parts of your quote. So when you are working on this, make sure you're thinking about things like, am I going to do all caps? Am I going to do all lowercase? Am I going to use, proper, case, like, for the first line of the quote, is it going to be capital and then a lowercase? That's really up to you. You get to decide that. But I do want you to think about it. And, you get to decide if the words are different sizes. You get to decide the alignment. Those are all things to think about. So don't just take them for granted. Make sure that you're really considering them. Get to change the colors. So they have some just like display fonts in Spark, but there's so many more out there. And I would not limit yourself to what they have on display. So I definitely recommend going to Browse Adobe Fonts. And if you do that, one of the things that I really like to be able to do is I can actually type in my quote here or a line of my quote, and then I can see my quote in different fonts. And I can also separate by type of font. So we've talked about, this like handwriting versus like sans serif or mono. So definitely, be picky about what you want. So say that you find a font that you really like, that you think's, or maybe even that you just want to play around with. What you can do is click on that font, and then you should have like a little slider right here that says activate. So if you activate the font, it will, let's see, it will show, it'll show up right in your fonts. It looks like I already had that one, but that's okay. It'll show up in your fonts as a new font, so you'll be able to work with it. So that's really nice. So definitely, take advantage of those things. You've got, you can duplicate things if you need to in here. Trying trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, you can also work in layers. So like say that I, have made multiple, like I made a background and then I put something over that and then I put something over that. Like I can shuffle my layers around. So that's kind of helpful too. I can always undo. I can always go back if I want to. And I can make multiple versions of something. So don't feel like, you only need to make one, make three. Good designers don't just make one, they make multiple options. So whenever you feel like, I really like that, I'm happy with that, you can download it to a JPEG. And once you do that, then you can, post it to Seesaw, Classroom, do whatever you want with it. And for this project, when you're done, you'll be posting them to Seesaw so we can all check them out. So anyway, have fun. I'm excited about this project. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. Challenge yourself. Anybody can just throw words onto a flyer, but a true designer really thinks through the process and makes decisions and is very critical of the decisions that they're making. So good luck, and I look forward to seeing what you do.